Floyd holding a 2-1 or a 2-1 record on Savage Octagon as he has won the last two times they've met, but the first time it was Savage who took the win. So she's definitely going to be thinking about making a repeat of that. And it was actually the two of them who met last month and ended Savage's month. So she's got a little bit of revenge on her mind too, I think.
Oh, no, most definitely. When a player takes a loss, they are gonna go in for it to try and dethrone the other player here. But as we say that here, Savage with a really interesting top line here. She had a fat log at the very bottom. I was really secretly hoping that she would get it as a blue red at the top. Did in fact get it, but that was something that really has allowed her to really capitalize on this board here. Super squeaky clean and holds a virus lead. 22 for Floyd, 14 for Savage.
Yeah, and there's only about a 4 or 5 second difference on their clocks, as Savage has been taking advantage of the opportunities on that right hand side to try to get the board knocked down. The aspired column eight is not something you want to see in your end game, and Savage knows that. She's just been trying to do the best she can with it. I like the plans that she's got set up, but now she's got herself set to where she needs a lot of yellow. She would love to have a double yellow to take this board down, but the odds of that are pretty slim. So, good chance that she's going to be taking that floating one last. Meanwhile, over on Floyd's side, he's got a little bit of garbage to deal with, but he shouldn't be too far behind as we see Savage out at 136.
136 for Savage, and Floyd also nearing his end game as well here. Floyd had a couple of yellow spires, and I believe his third or fourth column that really kind of didn't have anything useful for him to take advantage of here. But he has now since cleaned it up and is really getting his groove into this level 8 here, going into level 9. Meanwhile, taking a look at Savage's board, who's got a little bit of floatiness to her board. Her very bottommost row is pretty much devoid of all viruses here, but Floyd out at about 158.
Yeah, and that 2 minute level eight is not something you want to see. If if you're Floyd, you're looking at it going, ugh. I know from experience. So definitely, definitely not what he wants. But so far, he's not been hampered too much by the pill selection in the top of this board, although not a lot of access to yellow, and he'll be hoping to work his way down to get a little bit more of that here shortly.
And likewise in Savage's board, her board was mostly devoid of yellows. She has then since opened it up to make it a little bit more diverse on her top line to be able to expose that yellow to have some more plays for her is Savage Octagon. Meanwhile, taking a look over at Floyd's board. Floyd's board is sloping a little bit to the left, but nothing he can't take care of as he goes ahead and drops down that blue side on the firstmost column here. But it is a 21 to 8 advantage over for Savage Octagon.
Yeah, but most of those eight are reds, so that's going to be something that's we're going to be looking out for. Is the dot going to give her enough red? Is the game going to just be a pain? Who knows? Interesting choice, not setting up for the horizontal. She could have laid the blues on top. She just saw that and has decided not to bother with it, but that is going to slow her down just a little bit. As the doc is punishing her for that. Good grief, a double red blitz when all you need is a blue. Isn't it ironic, don't you think? Out of the 338.
Doctor loves prescribing that malpractice here, and that's what the doctor does best here. But these players are going to be managing the really terrible RNG to really make the best plays of earnings. That's what Savage Octagon did. When you get a red rush, you just really slam those pills down to just try and get through to not get the red here. Meanwhile, Floyd closing the gap here. It's worth noting that Floyd is going to be out here at a 354. Only a few viruses behind, 44 to 36. Again, Savage with an 8 virus lead over Floyd, 1977.
And now she's really hoping for a red blue. Now, or it was a yellow blue. Now it's a red blue that she wants because she's got this combo to fire off and really still just needs a red blue. There it is. It's going to give her the opportunity to do that. Um, Man, that whole row is horizontal with reds, and Savage is going to get that knocked out of the way. Meanwhile, over on Floyd's board, he's got that one very floaty blue, gets that knocked down, and gets a good horizontal to take the level of his board down. That's something he's wanting to look at is getting this top line as low as he can so that he can work a little bit more efficiently.
Yeah, absolutely. You couldn't have said it best there, Uka. Savage's bottom was chock full of viruses at the bottom here, meaning that her beginning portion of the level was a little bit on the slow side, but her ending is going to be absolutely beautiful as she goes ahead and drops that blue down, horizontally clears the yellow, and could possibly reach over to clear those yellows out. Now, it's going to take a little bit of extra yellow to clear those out horizontally, but she is going to clear things out in a vertical fashion, is Savage Octagon, to try and keep things down. That's what she's doing here with that split board. Meanwhile, taking a look over at Floyd's board here. Floyd has a glut of reds, but the doctor is final forgiving the reds to go ahead. And looks like Floyd's decision may have. Nope. Okay, there we go. We were back with Floyd, but it's 5-5. It is now tied between these two.
Yeah, that yellow blue that Savage put down in column two, I think was misdropped, and she dropped another double blue over on the left hand side. It might be that she's planning a horizontal setup, but it's just not really coming around for her. There it is. So she's going to get that set up, but Floyd has used that time to take the lead out at about a 5:48. So Savage out about 10 seconds later.
Yeah, absolutely. Floyd's really stormed it back. He had a really rough level 8, but has really turned it around. It's a really close game between these two here. Floyd completely devoid of the yellow viruses. He's going to have to do some strategic plays to place those garbage pieces in the proper sequence to make sure that it's not going to gum up his board too much in the works here. Meanwhile, taking a look at Savage's board. Savage has a little bit of a slight gap in the middle of her board, but is really doing some strategic plays. Again, I like this cross. She is going to drop that down. It is 31-36 now in favor of Floyd.
Yeah, that cross was the sort of thing that Savage needed to keep her in this game as she was down by quite a bit, now down to just 3 or 4 viruses behind. So that is going to put us in practically a dead heat, although this is the last level of the block. So we're going to see if Savage can catch back up or if Floyd is going to be taking this one away. Don't like the RNG that Floyd is getting, and fairly certain he feels the same way about it, although things are starting to look up, and just some good clean thoughts that he's working out, getting some good clears, and yeah, it's about a tie game right now.
Lloyd trying to flatten his board out. It's a little bit sloped to the left, but he has really chopped it down to make sure that everything has every pill that has come his way is he's able to have a place for it. And that's exactly what Floyd's been doing. Provided that he had reds he wasn't able to use, yellows he wasn't able to use, and now has really strategically opened up work up here. Savage with an Elia into the bottom here. It is now neck and neck, 9-9 going into this here. Savage is horizontally here, has taken the lead. It is now 7-8. Floyd needing blues and reds, or blues and reds are not coming. Savage with that blue red over there. Sandwiching opening up the reds here. Ook, this is going to be anybody's game here, but I think this is Savage, barring no disasters.
Yeah, Savage gets the tucks in there, and that is everything that she needed. Floyd finally getting the blues and reds that he needed for so long, but unfortunately for him, just too little, too late. As Savage is out at a 7:48. Floyd going to be out not too much after, although once it hits that 8-minute mark, he knows it's the writing's on the wall. He's just not happy about it. So 8:05 for Floyd. GG's with that bad RNG right at the end. There's only so much you can do. And that so much you can do is just reset and go again.
Yeah, absolutely. These players are going to be getting into it there. We got some readies in chat for both of them. Nerves are definitely, players of these calibers, whether they are newcomers or the seasoned veterans, there's definitely a nerve sense that goes in. So these players really showing their stuff to make sure that they are having a clean mindset going into it. But hey, speaking of clean, we're going to go squeaky clean with a 3-2-1 and pills into game two with Savage Octagon, our sixth seed, and our third seed, Floyd, 1977 here.
Floyd reaching for that Purdue hat that has served him so well in the past. Better than it has Purdue, honestly. So we'll see what things look like as he gets started a little bit after Savage does. But I love the double combination opportunities that Floyd has. Another blue yellow will be really nice for him as he can take just a bunch of double combos, and he is keeping things tied up as it is 20. Oh, now Floyd with a bit of a lead, 24-23.
Yeah, Floyd with the time advantage too. So Floyd's really We're seeing an angry version of Floyd. I don't know if Floyd shows his emotions too much on his streams here, but he is really capitalizing on that loss. You know, a lot of these players they really kind of bounce back from a loss, and Floyd really showing why he is their third seed for this month's tournament. Dropping everything down, going down to 11 here. He has everything pretty much free and clear, looking like he's going to horizontally clear out those reds at the bottom. Is Floyd? I'm curious to see if he does in fact do that. Savage with also a very squeaky clean endgame with it as well here. Going to drop things down. She is going to get that blue open. Yeah, she just has yellows and reds needing to expose the board here and is pretty much free and clear, both these players. 7 and 6. Now the favor in for Savage Octagon.
Yeah, reds and yellows are all either player needs, and now Savage down to just needing reds. Floyd, though, is going to get one more yellow eventually. There it is. He's going to be out first at a 134. Savage going to be out at a 142. So 8 second time difference. Pretty much nothing coming out of level 8. But you know, you'd rather have it than not have it. So we'll see what these two can put together in level 9.
Yeah, most definitely here. And both these players having just blues and reds in the top end with no immediate access to their yellows. So again, strategic garbage is going to be the name of the game, and their MO, both these players are to try and make sure that it's not going to create too much garbage with their board here. But looking like both players now chopping and exposing the yellow portion of their board here, the second half of their board, it is 24-27, still in favor of Floyd 1977, who is going on absolute tear despite the hiccup with the early part of the level.
Yeah, Savage, oh, is going to get this double blue. It's exactly what she needs to set up a T clear right there. Let's see if she sees these double yellows at the bottom. She does. And because it's the double yellow blitz, she knows there's going to be a double blue at the end. And I like this setup. She's already thinking about how she's going to do this with,
Yeah,
yep,
there it
there's
is.
the fat log going on.
Perfect. Savage has been throwing fat logs and tees all across the board here, and Floyd's also doing some really fantastic geometry as well. We've been saying a lot of these players, the top players, really go back to their drawing board, or really rethink their strategies, and both these players are really doing just that, and which is why they're able to really clear these boards out, despite the fact that their RNG was not really the greatest from that here. Floyd a little spired on his right side. He's going to have to clear things out. Yeah, he is going to drop things down. Looks like vertical is going to be the only way for Floyd to advance that. I'm curious if he's going to go ahead and de-sandwich the blue. No, looks like he's just going to do it the old-fashioned way, which is to clear everything out top down here. And I think that's a smart play, considering that he is now behind compared to Savage. Savage going to level 10 about 332.
So we are waiting to see what Floyd's going to put together. A couple of reds going to be great for him. 338, so a bit of a difference, but not even as much as the advantage that Floyd had at the beginning of the last level. So definitely just practically a tied game here. Again, though, you want to be the one with the advantage. Oh, all this drop time for Savage. That column 2 is completely empty for her now, and that is going to be a problem. But looking over at Floyd's side, he's just uncovered his first blue in a while. So hopefully he's going to be able to get to some more of that, but not a ton of it at the bottom, even at the bottom of his board. He's going to need some red. He's going to need it pretty quickly to get thrown down for him.
Yeah, gosh, he had about 6 viruses on top that was all red, and that luckily Floyd has now since opened a border, but still has a lot of red and yellow on his top line. Is Floyd here? He's a little miffed by the RNG coming with what's going on, and it's not really exactly what he's doing here, but yeah, he is okay. Now he's chopped everything down. You're now exposing the blues and the yellows at the bottom is Floyd, so really trying to bring back that health to his board to make sure he has some plays going into it. Meanwhile, take a look at Savage, who's a little sloped to the right. I'm curious if she's going to clear up that blue. I think she's also going to clear this up in a sort of old-fashioned style, just dropping everything down. Looks like she may clear those yellows horizontally, and then a red's going to come through. And that's exactly what she's signaling here. Ook.
Yeah, it's been a question of how that blue is going to go, but everything else it's been, very clear this is what she's wanting out at a 514. And Floyd not too far behind that. He needs a little bit of everything though, and we'll see when he gets it all. Does not nothing's coming in the right order for him is the real problem, I think. And yeah, he could really use some reds here. It's going to be more drop time though, and that's going to put him just a little bit further behind as he's out at a 536.
5:36 going into it here. These players are going to be turning on their jets just to make sure that they're not going to give any sort of advantage to the other player. We're taking a look at Savage, who's really going on a tear here. A little bit of a interesting situation with her leftmost column. It's going to be completely devoid of viruses. She may elect to place some of the garbage pills that she doesn't really need at that moment over to the left. And that's kind of what she did with that left side there. But if you take a look at the bottom portion of Savage's board, it is really chock full of viruses. So she's going to be able to clear this up at a pretty quick fashion. Looking over at Floyd's board, a lot of blues. And luckily now the doctor now sending blue pills over to clear Floyd's board. But it's looking like Savage is running away with this game.
Yeah, the blues that you see now are just a small portion of what he had at the top of his board at the very beginning. It has been just a bloodbath for Floyd trying to get these blues knocked out of the way. I don't know what what he did to the blue viruses, but they have been fighting him back in force.
No, absolutely. Could have said it best there. Looking over, Savage at the very bottom portion of her board has everything mostly free and clear. Very clean end game. Going to clear things down. Yeah, now at this point, she's probably going to clear those reds horizontally. Up there goes the blue first. She is going to clear that yellow and just needs a couple more reds to get out of it here, unless RNG rears its ugly head towards Savage's way.
Yeah,
Oh no,
there's
I
always
may
the
have cursed
possibility
it.
of that. There
Oof.
it is.
There it goes. 719 for Savage.
Yeah, so Savage Octagon will take both crowns. And, GG's to Floyd for a very well fought match, but I don't know if it was the pills that weren't in it or if Savage was just that savage. But great times for Floyd on both of them. 7:35, definitely something you want to see. So GG's to both of them.